Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome
Hello.
G.I.JOE 3D Printing Podcast. We've got a special guest with us this morning, Mr. Derek Hicks of Rowdy Toys,
What's going on?
had on
Welcome, Derek.
Yeah, glad to be here, fellas. Always a pleasure.
early last year, right? We talked about the flag.
Actually, it was. So that's been a minute or two. Gosh, time flies.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was well before Joe Fest, for sure.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how fast it goes? Golly, man. Yeah, getting old.
Yeah. So you've been kind of rocking the G.I.JOE 3D printing world with the stuff you've been putting out.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So Mike's got the big wheels back there.
Yeah.
Which I think you must have done gangbusters with, right?
Yeah. I like those little things. There's quite a few of them because it was a good price, something small and unusual.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What was kind of the inspiration for that? Like, what put that in your brain?
Yeah, I wanted to do something silly. I just wanted to do something silly, and I thought of how cool would it be to have someone riding a big wheel. And I did not know that they made a G.I. Joe version. It was Coleco Power Cycles. And they made them, they made like Knight Rider, Rambo. They made a lot. Transformers, yeah. Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know how many they did make, but it was a bunch of Smurfs. I couldn't believe it.
So I kind of teased a little bit before we went live that we had something kind of unusual. So you went to Joe Fest this year. I think this was your first year at Joe Fest.
So I went there year before last, but I just kind of walked around a little bit. I didn't really do anything. I was just amazed. I tried to make it through the best I could. And then last year I took a little bit more time. Yeah.
So you walked past me at one point. I was at this World War Hell booth, and you walked right past me. And
really?
You had like a little wagon, right? And you had a bunch of shells in it.
Yeah.
So I thought you were somebody else. And then I talked to some other people. I know a bunch of people, and there's more than one person came up to me and was like, "Hey, your friend Shane." I was trying to say hi to him, and he looked and he didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Like, did you have like a weird experience like that at Joe Fest? Do you recall?
I have lots of weird experiences in life, so I can't remember that. But
so there's a member of the group named Shane Long, and
okay. Uh-oh.
You two.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I got you too. I can do this too. Look at this.
Twinsies.
A bunch of people saw you, Derek, and thought you were Shane.
Yeah. And you're a good-looking guy, Shane.
I was going to say, when Mark was telling me about this, I was like, I don't know Derek yet, but I hope he's darn handsome.
Yeah. See, I can exit out, and you can enter in the chat, and they'll never know.
Yeah, right? You know what? I'm really AI Derek. That's
Oh my gosh. You got tears.
When Mark was telling me this story, I didn't believe him at first. I thought it was a setup for a big joke or something like that. Then and I was like, "Who is this guy? I've got to meet him." And our paths just didn't cross, unfortunately. And so I'm really excited to make my premiere as Derek number 2 on the G.I.JOE 3D Printing Podcast today with Mark and the gang. So.
It's like they have the shirts at Disney. It said Thing 1 and Thing 2. That's us.
You know what? From here on out, we're going to have to do something like that. We'll color coordinate. We'll match outfits.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
And Raymond right here.
Yeah, right. Somebody has to volunteer to get their face slashed. Yeah, man. Like a bunch of people. Like you're not identical completely, but pretty close, man.
You know, are you one of those people that think all white boys look the same?
We're gonna go to the same barber next time.
There you go.
Yeah.
I noticed that you don't have as much gray in your hair as I do. I'm kind of doing this, but
it's coming. Trust me, it's on its way. I see it every day. I was like, oh my gosh, it's okay.
No, you're Derek about 5-6 months from now after he's done making all the maulers.
Oh my gosh! Oh yes.
Aren't they amazing? Oh, geez.
They're incredible. So how many maulers do you have on deck? How many pre-orders did you get for those?
I've got several. I had to go back, but I've got several to do. It's going to take me a while to print them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How many printers are you running at this point?
I have a print farm of 12, and I'm keeping adding on. As soon as I get more power, I'm going to up the number. I'll probably about double that because I've got a lot of plans for 2026.
What
excellent.
Are they bamboos exclusively?
Oh yeah. I use only bamboo. Yep.
And what model have you? Or is kind of the workhorse for you now?
So I use all P1S. I don't use anything else. Okay. I don't need the nice screen of the P2S or anything like that. I don't need all the features of the Excellent C or E. I always like an enclosure, so no drafts, mess with the flat, like the deck plates of the flag. It just greatly increases your chance of success. So that's all I run.
From anything peeling up from the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, like the flag, you could print the flag on an A1, and I printed some parts on it, but they come out better on a P1S. That's for sure.
Derek, do you have any modifications on your P1S? That's what I run exclusively to for all of my filament prints. Any modification?
Nope.
I haven't found any good modifications that I wanted to make. It just runs really out of the box. I'm really impressed with my bamboo.
There's only one thing I printed for it, and it was the tool to disconnect from the buffer. That's a good one. And then I have considered adding. I can't pronounce the name of the company. It's like Big Weeby or something. Mm-hmm. It's an odd thing. It makes like a bunch of screens. Or Odd Company makes a bunch of screens and stuff for the P1Ss and a bunch of bamboo stuff. But I think that they had a good idea, which probably somebody else had thought of it. But it's just a clamp on right at the top of the purge bin. The wiper is. It uses the A1 wiper. There's some parts of the A1 I like. I like the wiper and I like the quick change nozzle. Mm-hmm. But I don't change mine. I mean, 0.2 or 0.8 or 0.6, so it's all 0.4.
Do you have AMS connected to your bamboo? Do you do any multicolored prints with your mauler?
Not with a mauler, but I do use AMS. Every one of them has an AMS. And a lot of times, mostly what I use it for is to use up the small rolls of spool. I don't have to babysit it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, but other than that, I mean, right now mine are bone stock.
Yeah. I picked up. I had gotten a P1P months ago now, and then for Black Friday, I picked up the P1S because the price had come down to the same as the P1P. And the only thing I made a hoop shoot for it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the first thing I print. I don't print Benjis or anything like that. When I first got it now, I printed a Benji. I was like, holy crap. Of course, that's tuned. It's just like from CNC manufacturing where you go in and they'll have a 5-axis Haas CNC and it's making an eagle or something. And they've tuned it and they've tuned it and they've tuned it and tuned it. It runs so good. But when you're talking about 3D printers, like the Benchy is that. And the first one I printed, I was impressed. Of course, it's not going to print that fast. I knew that. It's very much tweaked in. However, after that, it's just print a poop shoot and go. I put them right to work.
Nice.
Wow.
So you had said when you get more power, you were going to get more. Can you break that down a little bit? That's it.
Yeah,
That's an interesting thing that we've really never talked
Yeah,
about.
you just kind of slid that in. You know, are you putting
Yeah.
circuit breakers for your print farm? That's awesome.
But you can put in a sub panel or something. Depends on like where you're.
Yeah, like I come from firearms manufacturing, and you're talking about 220 volt, 3-phase machines, and we are running like the absolute time out of these things. And you don't have to worry about 2 mils or 3 mils starting close to the same time, causing power surges. Different programs. 3D printing is I'll go back to 3D printing and CNC manufacturing in a minute, but I don't have to worry about I'm running the same thing. I turn all of the printers on, it's 3 amps, and you're running that many. I don't have to worry about stagger starts. That stagger starts take time. And so I'm running 100 to 200 amp service, and the party's going to begin.
I had. Is anybody running the little power supply backup? So, like, if you lost power, would it be able to keep going?
I have one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do not.
I don't. I don't have one.
Is that
to me
concern for you at all?
No, not really. I have very stable power, and as long as I increase the amperage, it's going to be good. Because when our power goes out, I mean, it's like a hurricane. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you start adding uninterruptible power supplies, UPSs to all these printers, or buying something to sustain that. It gets that's going to be really costly. And and again, it goes back from the lessons of manufacturing. Like, we didn't have ups on that stuff. One, because that would have been really expensive. 30, 40 horsepower motors times X number of machines. So millions of dollars of machines, you don't want to invest in that. It's easier just to restart, wherever you're at.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you're talking about CNC, you're talking about metal primarily, right?
Yeah. So I used to have a manufacturing plant, firearms. I'm a firearms engineer or firearms designer, and most of the if you think about firearms and a designer, it's like unspoken. It's engineer. So I had a team of engineers and a lot of CNC machines, from lathes and mills, and we did robots and hydraulically clamped fixtures, tied back into miscellaneous functions of the machines. Before I sold it, the next step was actually going on conveyor belts with eyes. So we got pretty serious in the stuff that we used to do. And CNC stands for, go ahead.
No, please finish.
Computer numerical code. And it was standardized. It wasn't written it was standardized by MIT students back in, I don't know, like 70s or something like that. And the same G&M code that the printers run came from machining. So I always talk about 4-axis and 5-axis 3D printers. I've been talking about that for many, many years. And now they're starting to come out with 4 and 5-axis printers. The new Bamboo, it's like H2C, where it goes to a tool head and changes them.
Mm-hmm.
That's been around in wood CNC machines for decades. So I'm glad they're incorporating a lot of the features from CNC manufacturing in it. And you don't have to worry about code and tool paths and all that with 3D printers, but and you'll probably never get to that because you're using one nozzle and it's got its own algorithm. But yeah, it's good to see all these features coming about.
So for me, when it comes to like when we were talking about ups, like I can see with a CNC where if you're, you know, tooling like a small little metal part, that's one thing. But when you've got like if you had a print going and it's like a 30-hour print, and I think those times have come down a lot because the printers are much faster now.
Yeah.
But like if you've got a 30-hour print and you're someplace like where I live, it can just get real windy and we can lose power. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like having an ups for that, like nothing stings more than being 29 hours into a print and then it craps out.
Yeah, for what you're doing, and like the power requirements, and, you know, being, you know, iffy sometimes. Absolutely, I definitely have it up on one, by all means.
Yeah,
Derek, I'm always interested with people with larger print farms like you're describing. When you're printing at speed, you know, I like to keep mine around 100%. You know, sometimes I'll even go lower, but very rarely do I bump it up a little bit higher. What are your experiences with that and consistency and errors and things like that? Because you're doing this a lot. You're printing the same part over and over again. So of course you want to try to, you know, max it out. What is your experience with that?
So the faster you go, at least I think it's a volumetric flow rate of the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And once you go up into like a sport mode, I think is what they call it, or something, or ludicrous, I think is another one, like bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you lose a lot of print quality. And the way I look at it, it's like a prototype, which would be like, you know, ludicrous, or a functional part be sport. Something really good would be like normal settings, and then like super, super fine, it's like, I think it's called quiet mode or something. I don't use it that much, but well, not since I first got my first one. We'll put it that way. So I just run stock settings. You know, I've got my own little settings I run, but for the most part, it's pretty much stock.
So pretty much that 100%, and you know, that's good hearing that from you, because I keep it around that 100% as well. But you know, I'm constantly switching different filaments and different parts, and you know, for a print farm, you print the same material, the same part over and over and over again, and you really have that consistency, and you can measure it out. So, all right, that's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mess with it too much.
What about like color choices and things like that with filaments? Like, are you testing different colors before you say, okay, this is the one, or do you just go, I like this color and I'm just going with that?
He did not like your question.
I heard you.
Hey, I lost you guys. I had lost you. Sorry. It just completely hung up and it said, oops.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
So
what was your question? I'm so sorry.
No, I was asking, like, you know, how do you go about choosing your colors? Or do you test different colors before you decide on the one? Or do you just like pick a color and just say, I'm just going with this and I'm getting a lot of
it?
Oh man!
Oh, that's just horrible.
Derek number 2.
Oh!
I'll take over that question. Hold on, establishing the link again. All right, here we are.
You know what? He doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I don't worry about power, but I guess I got to worry about an internet connection.
All right, third time's the charm.
No, I was asking about how you're picking your colors and do you test different colors, but maybe the universe doesn't want you to let that secret out or something like that, because it crashed twice.
Guess not. Yeah, I've got.
And now he's frozen. Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, the universe wants that.
It does not want me to let that out. I don't know. I don't want to give away all my go-tos, but I've been printing so long. I've probably been printing myself for maybe 13 years ish, 12, 13 years, less than 15 years. And so I've kind of grew up with these companies per se. And so I've always got my go-tos, and, you know, I buy stuff now by the pallet. So yeah. I do a lot of testing.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
A little part of me is curious, like how low you get your filament costs purchasing that way.
That's the only, put it this way, that's the only way I could really offer the mauler, because it's a lot of assembly time. That's the only way I could offer the mauler at that cost. You know, it was going to be higher. So, and again, pulling back from lessons of, you know, owning a brand and owning CNC manufacturing and trying to figure out how to get the raw materials. And it's just like a smart shopper. That's all it is.
Gotcha. Wow.
Yeah. Bulk buys, you know, we used to buy, you know, aluminum literally by truckloads in firearms.
Wow.
Well, they'd pull up and there was forklifts on the dock. So a lot of money.
I can't imagine the trouble that I would be in from my wife when the semi truck pulled up by the driveway, you know, and started offloading filament.
Pallet of filament,
right?
Yeah. So my first CNC machine was a Haas VF2, and it was right after I was getting out of the Navy, and I literally ran 100 amp sub panel into the garage, and of course the Z-axis comes up, you know, very tall, and I had to run it and put it right between the rafters. And I had a hole in my garage, like boxed in place for a long time. I had that thing in the garage, had a 220 volt 3-phase rotary converter in there, and you'd literally start that one machine and the lights would dim in the house. And so we did that. And you guys ever heard of JP Cycles? It's like that big place going to Daytona, Bruce Rossmeyer, Harley, and all that.
No.
It's where, I don't know, it's one of the like Daytona Bike Week destinations. So we used to be right there, and you'll be right up front with Arl and Ness and everybody. The last year it's where we were, front door. And I told him, I said, in the beginning years, I said, I was in the garage and we literally used the top, which is boarded up, as, you know, storage for materials and stuff like that. And they're like, wait, what? I was like, yeah. So I'm glad I didn't tell them that in the very beginning. Yeah, make do with what you have, you know.
Yeah, that's just one of those lessons. Like sometimes you just go for it, and and don't look back.
It's like the Rosetta Stone method of learning, instant immersion. You know, if you want to learn it, you dedicate yourself. You know, no going back. It becomes life.
Yeah.
And again, there's not many people out there with 15 years of experience like you of doing this stuff too. So that's a lot of experience. That's a lot of learning.
Yeah, it's a lot of learning. You know, so my first two businesses, I worked 5 years and had 10 whole days off. That's it. There's not that many people that would dedicate, you know, that amount of time to it. Only those crazy ones. And I mean, that's the truth. It was absolutely maddening, but it would not have happened if I didn't do that. And so it's that instant immersion. I slept like 4 hours a night for 5 hours a night for years. Yeah,
that's too much.
Wow.
That's not too much. I mean,
but those are life choices that have
sleep.
led to some really awesome classified scale maulers. So thank you for your dedication.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So thank you for your craziness. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything you want to kind of show off?
Yeah. So I've got a mauler right here. I know a lot of people have probably seen it in like the videos and stuff, but I like to kind of show that if I could, and
let me try and
show what we got. So I don't know how we can do it here, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Let me move a chair out of the way. Yeah. I'm trying to move this chair and it's hanging up on my leg. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, there it is. I mean, my friend Doug, when he held it, he's a big guy, real big guy. So it probably appeared a little bit smaller to him, but yeah, it's a monster.
What is the overall weight, fully loaded, without the figures, of course?
It was like a little over 9 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, 9-ish pounds. I'd have to put it back on the scale to remember, but it was about 9 pounds, 9 to 10. Yeah, it's an absolute monster. And whatever reason, I love having these little mud flaps. They're rubber.
Yeah.
TPU. So I love those little things.
Did you change up the attachment method? Because they were the original tank that kind of went up and would always fall off. It looks like you have it more of a more secure.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, it's definitely more secure. Yep. And if you see it, it kind of looks like when they put these on, of course, they have the big, the dots here are the bolts, and they have that metal piece, rectangular piece that goes over them to keep them, bolted into the body. Yeah. And so that's what I put on there. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I love that.
Those ones.
And speaking of that, I love some of the design choices that I'm kind of seeing and what I've seen in the videos. What is your favorite design deviation from the original tool, that are from the original toy that you maybe incorporated?
Gosh, that's a hard question. I guess I can. Man, there's a lot. I mean, all the new features, I kind of get geeky about this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And all the new features, every one of them, I'm geeking out. So, man, if I had to pick one, I think it would be the turret interior. Mm. I really think that. It's a 3-person inside, which is kind of set up like the original, like HSTV. Mm-hmm. I've learned so much about G.I. Joe and where they got their inspiration from. It's absolutely maddening. And, the HSTV was something pretty cool. It was the tank hunter is what it really was. But yeah, I'd say the interior. That's a good question. Everything else is a very close second.
So can you take us through some of the features on this thing?
Yeah. So I already talked about the mud flaps, and then I put little tow hook spots, and it comes with a couple like double ended hooks. And because when you put these original, the name is escaping me right now, but when you put these on, there's actually a bolt that goes through them. Mm-hmm. So you put your rope on, your tow hook, you put that on. And it's meant to go in there, and then you put a bolt through it and to attach it. But that doesn't quite work in the 3D printing and toy world. So I made a little bit different attachment point for that. And I love the blast effects, and they're all magnetically attached. And I see people already putting magnets on stuff now. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, but just wait. I'm gonna make some cool stuff, new things. They're all painted, and that's the XM885 projectile coming out of there. And the original one, it was an energy weapon, an inertia weapon, and it was meant to no explosives. It was meant to kill tanks. That's what this thing was made for, and it would penetrate armor just on inertia. So pretty powerful. Of course, you want a small cross section, PSI, pounds per square inch. So the smaller it is, the more that goes up, the bigger the boom. In the cannon, of course, it goes up and down, but
nice
reciprocating cannon.
That was a spring that makes that happen, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All spring loaded.
So is it a printed spring or like a manufactured purchase spring?
No, I use metal springs, and the reason I don't use printed springs because prints or it doesn't have a lot of memory. You have to use something metal, and it's going to, and not to include the prints are kind of isotropic, and it's not isotropic where it's like a homogeneous mixture of the materials. So strength comes from different directions the way you print, but it still wouldn't hold up to that and get the movement. It has to be metal.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought.
How did you
a
print
lot
the
of
flash
strings.
effects? Are those resin or?
Yeah, these are all resin actually.
Okay.
I got into digital sculpting, so that's another skill that I kind of come about. Some people put like giant blast effects on it, which actually doesn't even come close to like a real tank. I mean, that concussion is like ridiculous. So I had to have a little bit smaller one on there. Again, you offer stuff for a price, and you got to keep it reasonable for people. I could make one the size of the room, but that probably wouldn't be too cost efficient. Pulling upon the lessons of manufacturing. I do love this one, the smoke grenades. So there's 4 to look more like a modern smoke grenade launchers. Tanks are going forward. They shoot the smoke grenade. They launch that. Boom, it goes out in front of them. The original Mauler had like 3. One going behind. Whoops, one going behind, and I don't like that. Right here, we got the smoke grenades.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And so they literally magnetically attach. You can hear like a click.
That's satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
And how is the launcher attached to the turret up there? Does it snap in the black piece to the brown piece?
For your
This
grenade.
is glues in, and then there's
Okay.
magnets.
Okay.
Yeah, all magnet. And we got our toolboxes, and there's tools in here. It's going to come with 1 wrench and a shovel, and it comes with a sledgehammer in the other side.
Jeez.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make those
You know,
in your
they're-
CNC machine? Those look metal.
No, I don't have access to. Well, I have access to CNC machinery, but I don't use anything anymore. All the engine covers are magnetically attached. In the back, we have the tow hook. We got tail lights, and then you got machine gun. And you take the figure out. That's a figure by Dred Scott Customs. He made a heavy metal, kind of like crusty tank commander. And then once you pull the top off, I can't turn it up like this, but you can kind of see you got the interior in there.
Oh, wow.
And all the wheels move up and down, and it's the treads are all linked.
Holy cow.
Man, I'm starting to sweat. This thing's getting heavy.
No worries. Take it.
So,
Is
I
the
don't know if you
tread-
guys know this or not, but I had a neck fusion. Not good. I had 3-level fusion, so I start getting a lot of pain.
All right.
So sorry about that. Going back to the tread, is that TPU as well?
No, I don't. I did TPU treads before, but now they're all linked PLA.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my
Are they
own.
snap together link, or do you have some type of like pin that like holds them there so they can't come apart?
All printed at one time. It's all
Oh.
one, not one piece, but that would work too well. But yeah, they're all linked together. That was one of my go no goes. If I couldn't make a tread that looked like an actual tread, I was not going to make them. Like I know some of them, they don't look like a real tread. It had to look like a real tread.
Wow.
And so the next step was doing TPU, but TPU slower. you're printing something like that. You got to make a big round shape, takes up a big print bed. So I wanted to make something cool, and it turned out way better. So when you roll it, it kind of sounds tank-ish.
Nice. Ooh,
So,
look at that.
Yeah, that's kind of what he means.
Yeah.
So it's on a print bed. That's a huge print bed.
Yeah.
What's that tread for, Artwann? Mobat?
Oh, this was probably for the Wolverine or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
What is that made out of, Artwann?
No, that's TPU.
That's TPU?
Yeah,
Okay.
so what he's saying is it's going to be kind of one print, and I print it just like that. So you got to imagine that's taking up your whole bed, and if you are going bigger than that, you've got to get a bigger printer.
Yeah,
you have to. That one would take like H2D or S or C to do that, and I don't know. I like having the same things. I'll eventually get one of the H2, whatever, just to have one to print a few big things, but I won't use them in manufacturing.
Derek, I got a question. You kind of mentioned it when you were talking about your tank treads, and me being not a tank tread aficionado. What is a detail that makes, you said a go, no go decision on an actual tank tread. What detail makes it like an actual tank tread for you?
Well, I think it has to be thinner, and sometimes people put like big round circles at the end of them. I'd seen before even had started this adventure, and it doesn't look right. It looks right for maybe what they're making, but it doesn't look right for like a tank. A tank has to be a thinner, and where you can put treads on it. A lot of times they have like big rubber blocks on them.
Mm-hmm. For the bogey assembly, I saw how it was going up and down. And did you use something like on the original Mauler toy, how it has the bogey, the connector at the top, and the screw that goes in there to kind of hold the everything together and the wheels pop on?
It's similar but better.
Oh, okay.
But it is similar to it. Those are all spring-loaded wheels.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like the original one had like these plastic pieces. It was kind of a, making a cheap toy, making it cost efficient. Yeah. Something I didn't know, like the equalizer, it had rolling wheels. They took the motor out of the equalizer.
Yeah.
And they just had
it made it storage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting question. So if one of the track cracks, is there an easy way to replace it?
No, there's really not an easy way to replace it, but I made them where they're very, very beefy.
Okay.
If you crack that, you've got other problems.
So I've got a question for you so now that you have the Mauler base, do you have any future plans to build other turrets?
Good question.
Particularly the equalizer, which was the Slaughter Marauder reuse of the Mauler base.
Yep. Yes, I have an equalizer turret that will be coming at some point.
Okay.
I want to get through these first before I try to tackle something else.
Oh, sure.
I had put the shipping date as like late summer 2026, because this is like an initial thing, but in truth, I'm already printing on them and I'm already assembling. So they're going together. When they get done, they get done. I was going to also do them like all at once, like send every one of them out at once, like this big brute force spectacle. Yeah, Mauler Day. That's right. Yes, I love that. I love it. But I think what I'm going to do is, some people didn't read very well, like, late summer 2026, like one or two people, and they weren't rushing me, but, and on the new website, somewhere buried in there's something in the checkout or somewhere in there where it tells you that it will ship in like a month. I'm like, what? No. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that. So I got to find that. I'm built a website, but I'm not like
It was something during checkout, like the checkout basically said like, "Oh, you're paying for your shipping with this, and your check," and then it gave like a shipping date, and I'm like, that I don't believe that at all. But
Yeah, yeah, no. I never like checked out other than doing the test stuff. But so it's kind of odd, and I had another person check out to test out the website, but and there, didn't nothing got said about it. And so so I got to find that buried somewhere in 10 million lines of code, some setting, I don't know.
That's the that's the stuff that drove me crazy. Like I had the Etsy store. It's like I want to design. I don't have a lot of time to do that because I have to manufacture all this stuff. And then there's like the admin of having a business and dealing with that stuff.
Yeah.
And just like when you're one person doing this, man, it is brutal. All
Yeah.
the little things, just nickel and diming your time.
Nickel and diming. I mean, the rowdytoys.com website took as long to make that as it would be for me to design the mauler.
So, I'm looking at the website right now, and these images alone are really beautiful. It really showcases the mauler, yes, but I mean the images themselves are really good. Are you a photographer as well? What's going on?
No. Well, I've done product photography quite a bit. That stems way back from the Lead Star days, where you're everything. You got to be everything to succeed in the beginning.
Oh wow! Look at the size of that. Oh, in comparison.
Do the side skirts remove?
No, side skirts do not remove. That was actually from a long time ago when it was for manufacturing purposes.
Yeah.
So that's why the side skirts were moved on the old ones. Then you really don't have to remove the side skirts to do anything to it, and you didn't do it when you had the mauler. The only time you had to remove the side skirts is every time you picked them up, they would fall off.
Yes.
Every single time. Gosh, it was so aggravating. So I can't take that. I'm sorry. You have to pick it up by the front or back, like very carefully.
Wow, the MTV stickers giving me like a vibe. The actual music television part is like they're done at the end of this year.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
my cousin, my aunt used to have that playing like all the time when we were kids. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. It's the end of an era.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to be like the train guys,
Oh. Yeah, we were talking about that. We've talked about that before, that we're Generation Train. We're probably the last holdouts for the 80s toys.
Yeah, we're the action figure generation, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the trains, a lot of those are gone. There's an old man, he was like a second father to me, and he had one big room, all these big windows looking out over a koi pond and all that stuff. And his treasure in that room was he had his childhood train, and he had a train track made to go all around the top, and he would turn it on every now and then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a little kid, that was kind of like a dream. I knew that I would make it if I had the train track that went, along the.
I had a neighbor. I had a neighbor across the street from me in my new neighborhood. He's an older fellow, and he had a giant train set in his backyard, like fully sculpted buildings, tunnels, multiple tracks, crossovers. It was amazing.
Wow.
He even had it. Yeah. This was the most amazing thing. The train people know about certain plants that only grow to a certain height but look like full size. So they buy these trees that they're real trees that they're growing, but they know they're only going to reach like 3 inches tall,
Right.
but they look like a full grown tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, they're
amazing.
not quite bonsai, but yeah.
Exactly.
My
So
dad's a
he
tree
had
guy.
like the whole thing was set up with all these like a growing forest kind of thing.
Wow.
It was impressive.
They really get into trains, you know, the diorama side of it. Another one is tanks, where they have the remote control tanks, and these guys will set up, you know, war torn cities. Now they have where they have lasers that, you know, will shoot, and you know you hit somebody else's, you know, receiving point.
Right, and then the tank will like pop a little bit or something. Yeah,
so that's your next goal. Convert the molar, the radio controlled laser firing.
Yep. No one knows what's coming next. See.
Yeah. Not me. I've got too much to do, man. I had this 80s tank that one of my best friends gave me, and I mean it's like heavier than the Mauler. It's all metal, brass gears.
Wow.
Yeah, it is pretty nuts. You know, the old like radio control like you use for planes and everything. This big, you know, giant remote that you have to keep charged all the time because the battery's dead and you don't want to buy one. But kids have fun with it every now and then. I bring it out.
Now you mentioned you had the driver. That was it, Heavy Metal. You had him made.
Yeah.
Who was the company again? And also the follow-up question to that is, will this guy be like on deck to make any more?
So it's you look on Instagram, it's called Dread Scott, SCOTT Customs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you dread something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dread Scott Customs. His name is Scotty Grass, and he made the heavy metals. And we had 4 that we did a giveaway with. Yeah,
I think I saw that.
And
yeah,
it's pretty cool. I don't know if you can find him there.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up.
Scotty's a really good guy. He's making, you know, some figures, you know, as he goes.
Well, and I'm asking, you know, because maybe he'll get a little residual business for people who are getting the Mauler. Is he fully equipped to make a few more heavy metals?
I don't want to answer for him, but I think so. But yeah.
It looks like it's mostly bashing, so he's got to get hands on the
on
the original
pieces. Yeah.
Yep. It was a kit bash, and I mean I think it really captures like what heavy metal would look like. You know, some old crusty tank commander, you know, smoking his stogie, you know, cussing, you know, get out of here, get the blank out of here. You know, the Navy would call him some old crusty Master Chief. This is some old crusty, I don't know. I don't remember what you call him in the Army, first sergeant or
anchor.
Sergeant.
Yeah, top.
Yeah. What's that?
I think top sergeant. Just call him the top.
Yeah. But I like that kind of stuff. I usually stick with kind of mostly G.I. Joe, real G.I. like Hasbro kind of G.I. Joe figures. But I do like the kit bash stuff too. I think they're really cool.
Well,
it's a lot of fun. It's the customizing action figures is the thing that's bringing in younger
folks. Yeah.
That and the photography. We've heard some conversations from people that they've, you know, coming directly from like Hasbro, where they're saying they were surprised that a lot of the toy sales of modern toys are going to younger kids, you know, teenagers and whatnot, that have found toy photography on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's what brought them into the fold.
So there's a guy that, you know, stuff pops up in your feed all the time. And his name is His Facebook name is Sir SIR Dork, DORK. And he did some amazing stuff. And I have no idea how he captured some of the stuff where he'd take like, one of them was like, I don't know, maybe Spider-Man or something. The one with the, like, had the spider legs on it. And he was like kicking a can or something. You see like the drops coming out, exploding. It's amazing. Dust clouds, and I don't know how they captured that part of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's one really good guy on Instagram. I forget his name, but he does really good pictures of action shots of, you know, classic figures, a lot of G.I. Joe. But he always posts his pictures and then a behind the scenes of how he took the picture. Like what did he use to actually get the smoke, and, you know, firing firecrackers to get explosion effects and all kinds of really amazing stuff. And it's neat to see both aspects of the photography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what this guy does. I mean, he showed some stuff, and it was like in the woods by his apartment. It's amazing what people can do.
Yeah, I'm looking at his page right now, and he does have some videos of how he sets up the shot. This is really cool. And he's still posting. In fact, he posted 22 minutes ago.
Yeah. What's even getting crazier, there's an app out there called Nook, N-A-U-K.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's an AI animation that is tailored specifically for toys. So basically it knows how an action figure is supposed to move and where the joints are. So you can do these real quick animations that with a couple prompts actually work well. And because you're starting with an action figure, you're not going to have to worry about, you know, 6 fingers and an extra leg and all that kind of stuff. It's tailored.
I've been getting a lot of those posts in the group lately. Yeah. There's a lot of those posts kind of in the group.
Yeah. The animation engine for AI jumped leaps and bounds. I think it was like June. I was talking about this in like maybe April with my company, and they wanted to see, you know, oh, what can AI do, and can you do this? And I was like, right now you can't. And then all of a sudden in June,
and you can.
An explosion of graphics that were, you know, the graphic engines like Sora and all this stuff. And ever since then, we've been getting videos all over our page with people doing animations and things like that. So it's going crazy right now.
Wow.
Excuse me.
I did want to ask you, Derek. There's so many vehicles or so many different types of Joe vehicles out there that you could have gone with. What was that initial thought or process behind, like, I think I'm going to do a Mauler?
So I always thought the Mauler was really cool. And the more I did research on it, I mean, it just got cooler and cooler and cooler. It came from a company called the AAI Corporation, the ones that actually made it. And I do like an absolute ton of research before I even, you know, move the mouse on as far as SolidWorks goes. And I just kind of become mesmerized by it. And I never had seen a Mauler in person. I'm like, I'm going to make that thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you'd never seen the toy?
I'd never seen one in person. So I grew up poor, had nothing. And so probably in like the last year, I started getting things. It's not been that long since I started collecting stuff. So when I started, I had the claw and the adder. It's just because I was just playing around. I just wanted to, you know, do something cool. And I made those. I'm like, screw it. I'm making the flag. So, and that's when things kind of started.
Okay. So
things escalated.
That's an interesting path. Really.
Right. So I was thinking, or just kind of curious, I was just going to try to spark some drama of some sort, because everybody thought that the Mauler was going to be one of the HasLab. And so I was just like, maybe he you know, maybe there was so much groaning in the community that you're like, you know what, I'm just going to give these guys the mauler that they wanted. But for you, it was just pure. I fell in love with it.
Yeah, but I do know what people want because they want what I want. I mean, if I was running Hasbro, I'd probably do things quite a bit different than they do. And I don't know. I just don't think there's a good plan. You know, there's no good distribution because they don't have to worry about people like me. You know, Mark, they could care less, to be honest. For the most part, you know, 3D printing, but I don't think they're in touch with what's going on. I really don't. You know, the distribution of it is I don't know. I'd be firing a lot of people in distribution. I promise that.
Yeah. Even down to the website, the app. There's so many problems.
Yeah, and they don't address it.
You know, they don't address it. I still I had a card that I had been using. It expired, and I went back and changed it. But now, I have stuff canceled all the time.
Oh my gosh!
Out of nowhere, all the time.
Happened to me this summer.
And you can't find. There is no. The likelihood that you find anything in a store is slim to none.
Yeah,
and that's
it happens.
Yeah,
but it's the whole picture, the holistic view of what it's like to be a classified collector. It's rough, man.
Well, I just
even as an adult with the income, it's still a pain in the butt.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't get how you go from being able to fill toy aisles from end to end with product to we can't get it in stores at all, basically. Or only one store in the region has it and everybody else is going, my store doesn't have it.
Yeah. And then it suddenly shows up at Ross for 1/3 the price that you paid.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
And, but not my Ross.
Yeah.
Not my Ross.
I've been watching these people buy hearts full of damn the Star Duster. I people have posted pics of I bought 6. They haven't shown up near me.
So I didn't have there was a bunch of Jinx and Ross. I mean, and the female shooter, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Anyway, 60th anniversary one, but there's all kinds of those. But I walked in and there were 6 Star Dusters sitting there. And so I got one, and I got one for Scotty Grass. And then I left 4 sitting there. And I went back in later, and there's a known guy around here that he cleans out everything. I've literally been behind him in the line, and there was some bin up there. And my youngest son, I see him just dumping everything in. And it's capitalism, free market. And I understand that. I just kind of, with that, I can also choose to not like that. But this guy, I thought he'd cleaned them out. I thought, man, they're all gone. It turned out my buddy wanted some, and he was the one that went in there and got them. So good for him.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, the sad thing is that Star Duster was so cheap; it's worth it almost just for the jetpack.
Yeah.
I mean because that was a good figure, but or for the cereal box. Depends on what your take is on Star Duster. You can have a whole row of cereal boxes and just throw the figure away.
I find it incredible that you guys can find this stuff. I've never seen it in the store. That's crazy.
But well, with me too, it also requires going to Ross, which is a store that I just cannot stand.
Yeah.
That is
it's like a third world country in there, right?
Right.
So what's interesting, some of them are trashed, and then some of them are nice. There's high end Ross, and then
I haven't found the high end ones.
No, I have never.
I walked into one last week. I had to go 30 minutes away for something, and there was a Ross that I went in, and it was downright pleasant.
60% off of Louis Vuitton, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was nice.
So
we have 3 here, and they're okay. 2 are better than one of them, but we don't find a lot of stuff here. I mean, Charleston, South Carolina is like absolutely maddening booming. The amount of people moving here, and people just clean them out, or they just don't get it. I think a lot of it comes from the West Coast. Just my opinion. Containers land there, they get it there, they got warehouses there, and it kind of spreads.
That's what I've noticed is like if I see someone put like with the Starduster's perfect example, like I'll start seeing people posting pictures of that, and then basically about 2 weeks later, there'll be like a little window of 1 to 3 days where if I'm gonna get them, that's when they're gonna show up.
Yeah,
and then
that's actually about the way it is here.
3 weeks later, if I haven't got it yet, it's not coming.
Yeah. Yep.
Someone's asking, do we think that people are just waiting now for them to show up at Ross? So there's a pocket of people who are like, yeah, I'm not buying it at retail price, which I understand because it keeps going up. And then for the figure to wind up being at Ross anyway for like a third of the cost, there's a lot of folks who are kind of collecting on the back end that way. So
yeah.
You can't.
What tends to work out pretty well that I found is there are the scalpers. They'll go out, they'll buy out Ross, but then they'll go to a show like Joe Lanta or Joe Fest, or even Shane, you've been to the swap meet, and they have these tables full of figures that they can't move, so they don't have that much in it, so they're selling it for retail or less than retail, and they've done the work to actually go get it.
I did that on one
So
of
I
the
think
Transformers.
that way.
Yeah, I was trying to find one of those Transformer crossover ones, and I'd heard that they were at Ross for like $19 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I went there and I found, I couldn't find it. I went to Ross for like a week, every day, and then I saw one at the swap meet for like $40 or whatever, still half off of what they were offering on Amazon.
Yeah.
And this guy had done the work for me, so I was okay with that, right?
Yeah,
I'm okay
absolutely.
with that. Yeah,
absolutely.
But still, I don't enjoy the hunt as much. That I'm not. There are some people that their weekly routine is to hit every Ross in the area and buy what they can. I'm like, no, I don't have the time or the effort or the patience for that.
No, me either. When I'm by there, I go. If I'm not by there, I don't go.
Yep.
So, getting into like what Hasbro's doing and not doing. So, do we think they'll ever release a Mauler?
I personally don't think so.
Yeah, that's a good question. They love reuse, and reuse, the Mauler would get them the Mauler and halfway to an Equalizer.
Yep.
So it's not out of the question.
Or an Arctic Mauler.
Arctic Mauler, yeah.
But they're also watching.
They're watching.
They're watching. So they see that you've done it and done it well, and they see the reaction to it. They see what you're charging for it. So no kidding, like you
the Arctic Mauler,
like it or not, believe it or not, you have done product research for them.
And there's an Arctic Mauler.
Oh yeah. What's that? You better get up early in the morning.
All right, I've got to throw another Night Force Mauler.
Well, there's more. There's more.
We didn't plan this.
We didn't plan this, but
no.
This is just such a cascade happening right now. We are
all right.
Jackpot.
Give me a second.
Okay. I should
I have
grab my Arctic asp.
The Arctic asp, the Arctic Mauler.
I have to get up to get it.
Gotta be careful.
These
gotta have someone for the Arctic Night Vipers to go with.
These are almost done, but not quite. So, 2007. I actually think it was Michael that first clued me in on this.
Yep, I know where you're going.
So they're not all finished because I tried to get as much done before I started production of the original maulers. So there's going to be some parts missing, but
Oh, the green one.
Oh, the green machine.
yeah.
Thanks for the memories.
So
Smart.
MBT X is what it was called.
Okay.
Mark's got the
And
asp. Wow.
Anybody want to guess the next color?
I'm going Night Force. I'm going black.
Dreadnoks, the green.
Oh no, the Cobra Maul.
Cobra Blue.
Is that
Shredder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. So,
And for people that don't know, there was a convention exclusive that was going to be a 2 set of maulers, a green and a blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they pre-sold it, and they said we'll deliver the tanks sometime after the convention. Then they found out they were missing some of the tooling to be able to complete the mauler, so they canceled the whole
Is that the
thing
one
and
that they
burned it.
were going tanks for the memories or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Thanks for the memory.
So
guess what my title's
going
gonna be? Yeah, Tanks for the Memories. That's what my title is going to be. Same thing.
Nice.
But I'm going to deliver.
Yeah, I wonder which
Tank you and the mauler you rode in on.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's
I wonder
awesome.
which parts were missing from that original mauler.
It wasn't much from my understanding. I think it was like the wheels, the rotating wheels, and it wasn't much, but they did not want to put any money into new tooling. So they were like, well, we got to scrap the whole idea because we can't find that one
Derek,
tool
is this a bad Hasbro decision that you're kind of talking
bad
about?
Hasbro decision? Well, it's the club.
Yeah.
So the club was Hasbro, what wasn't Hasbro. So they didn't have budget for that kind of stuff. They could, if they had, my understanding is if there was an existing tool, Hasbro would print it for them in color. Whatever colorway they wanted, but it's not like they could put new tooling out.
Yeah.
I think the original bad decision came many years before that by not thinking about reuse of the Mauler mold. And so that was a long time ago. You know, molds, they go through a lot of heat cycles. And G.I.JOE.com has an article about it. If you just type in G.I.JOE.com and then another search term, put like MBT X-X, and you can read that on there. And I went back and really got myself familiar with it, and it was actually a piece of tooling that had broke, and they covered the cost of it. And then another one broke, and they said, we're done. But they were only going to do like a 500.
Yeah,
it wasn't much.
Yeah, so there would not have been return on investment and anything like that to retool.
See,
it was done.
Max said the same thing.
Back in 2007, if that had happened, this would have been a perfect opportunity for the Joe 3D printing community to come in and save the day, print the missing parts, include them with those things. Man, that would have been amazing, right?
Yeah, right.
In 2007,
what 3D
we didn't have the Bamboo Labs printers, man.
Right.
Yeah. No, I know. The timing, of course, didn't.
Brutal, inconsistent shit.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I think, in general, just talking about that, one of the biggest mistakes that Hasbro made, knowing what the future was going to be like, is they sold the tools.
Yes.
Once they were done with their tools, they would sell them to either Palatoy or Fun School out in India or Argentina, and the tools disappeared and they had no more control over them.
Right.
One of the amazing things is Playmates did not. So you see how quickly Playmates is making new versions of the toys.
Yeah.
That's because they never got rid of the tools. Those are literal that's the same tooling that they used to make the original tools. They're just out there and they're reprinting them. They blew the dust off them and they're cranking them out.
If they're stored correctly and they're coated and maybe with something like Cosmoline, some sort of protective grease, it should last. I mean, the metal's not going away.
If it's an aluminum tool, there's nothing that's really going to happen to them. But like you said, put them in Cosmoline, store them away. But Hasbro has never for a toy company, Hasbro
Just not good
is
steward.
probably the worst at keeping their
Yeah,
own history.
not good stewards of their stuff. Yeah.
No, I mean, they repainted over paintings. There's so much that they did just because they considered it a toy, a disposable commodity, without understanding what the future was, what the future was going to be like.
Yeah, I don't think those guys back in the day realized what they were starting. And again, it's kind of being out of touch. And if they'd saw the reactions of kids, they would know that at some point the kids are going to get older. And
Yes.
I'm sure there was some toy that, or some, knife, or something that even older people like that they want to have later on. I mean, everything goes in cycles, and somebody should have had enough foresight to realize that.
Yeah, I mean, they should have been smart enough because they could have already seen what was happening in Barbie, because Barbie had been out from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and in the 80s there were already Barbie collectors, or there were collectors of the original 60s Joe. I mean, they should have known, but it's all, well, Star Wars already well set at that point.
Yeah.
So
I don't think people really think about the collectors. It turns into like quick money grabs. You have to make money to stay in business. That's a fact for sure. We all know. But the storage of this stuff in a warehouse somewhere wouldn't be anything too crazy.
No.
Or pay someone else to store it.
Yep. So there's a really interesting point.
Like, those tools exist somewhere.
Yeah. So there's a very interesting point that just popped up. It said, "Can you use an older toy to try to create a tool?" Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we know that.
But not a metal one.
Yeah. Well, you could. The problem is, back in the 80s, they would sell millions of units. And when selling millions of units, you had the cost justification for creating that tool.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you don't have that economy of scale. And if you're not familiar with tool making, pretty much every piece of plastic that you're doing is going to run you about $10,000.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Like, you look at the Mauler, what would you estimate, Derek?
Oh gosh. Yeah, it would be a lot. Just for example, too, is the pistol frame of when I was making, and it was between to have interchangeable trigger guards and side panels, because I was sharing the design with another company, so that added a little complexity to the mold. I'll tell you that. But to make that, the estimate was between 100 and 125 grand.
Yep. Yeah. So to answer the question, yes, the tools could be made. The problem is there's not the economy of scale. So, and that's why you see,
I think when he's asking, can you use the old toys to make the tool? Like you can copy that design, you can recreate that design to make the tool, but it's not like you can. It's not like you can mold the metal around it.
That's true. That's true.
Like when I hear that question, that's how I perceive it. It's like, can you skip some steps by having a final piece to create this tool?
No, you can't skip a step. But basically saying, like, is the tooling ever really lost as long as we have an actual original toy and we go back with that toy and recreate the tool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's a much more complicated. Now, with today's technology, you can scan and then you can CNC, and you can get there much faster than somebody, using, like in the 80s, they were using hand drawings and literally the tool by hand and with CNC. So that's different. You could get there faster today if you have the toy, but it's not turnkey. You don't press a button and suddenly you have a tool.
Right.
That's right. It's a process for sure.
Mm-hmm.
In SolidWorks, I've never made molds, because that's a whole other subset of engineering, and mold analysis on SolidWorks. I've never ever touched it or opened it, and truthfully, I probably never will. So you have to leave it up to somebody that can make the mold. They analyze the properties, hot spots, cold spots, where they need another sprue or vent, and you run that through the mold analysis. Then they farm it out to another machine shop, usually that machines it, and then there's another person that comes, an EDM also, which is very expensive, and then they take that and send it some way to polish the mold, or the EDM puts texture in the mold.
Oh yeah.
A lot of steps. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Not cheap. Not cheap.
Yeah. And then the other thing, just to complete it, you only get a certain amount of shots out of every tool.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So if it's a soft tool, you're going to get a couple thousand, maybe 3,000 shots. If it's hard tools, you're going to get 10,000. You're going to get probably 100,000. I think that's what we normally get.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the more you make, the more your tool's going to wear. And so, say if in the 80s they made a tool for the Mauler and they made 100,000 of them, then the company has to make the decision of, do we make this tool again and spend all that money to remake the tool, or do we just stop making this toy available?
Yeah.
And again, it comes down to the economy of scale of what's available.
Even like some of the number of the pre-orders, like, they're capped. Some things are capped. And people are like, why are they capped? They can make all they want. But if they're, it's 100,000 for the life expectancy, the cycle of mold, and then 10,000 more people want them, like Michael said, they're not going to make another mold for 10,000.
No.
So,
I mean, so he's got like a string or series of questions, but like, yeah, you can do silicone molds, but you're going to get however many come out until that mold destroys. It'll tear. Or,
you're talking maybe 100 pulls from a silicone mold, and it varying on the size and the thickness, and if there's cuts on the cuts,
and the material.
But you're also not going to be doing. You're not injection molding with plastic.
Yeah, and the labor, because now you got to paint them, clean them up. There's a lot of labor involved with that too.
Yeah. So like, people do it right now currently with figures. I've seen a few vehicle parts being done and stuff like that. But like, realistically, those guys will get maybe 50 to 100 pulls on those, and that's it. So they'll have to. You can go through the process of keep remaking, but without
a lot of work
it's just a lot of work.
It's faster than 3D printing each individual part, but 3D printing in each individual part.
Well, up to you have to have a quantity though.
Yes.
Like I can 3D print 5, 10, 15, 20 way faster than I can make like
the mold.
Part silicone.
Yeah. But if you're going to be making 100 of something,
it's
and
always
takes skill
intriguing.
Too.
It's always intriguing. It takes a nice amount of skill for doing, your own personal silicone molding. I mean, there's also, you could take silicone molding and then order, depending on size, order the aluminum molds to be made or whatever. But like all of that, and especially on a personal level, your cost even for that is kind of astronomical to the point it's like, is it worth it?
Yep. Resin casting is good for small batches and custom parts, or 1 or 2 parts, but it's never been in use for manufacturing. Prototyping and stuff like that. But it's a skill, and I admire the people that can do it.
It can all be done, but when you get into the process of, do you really want to do this? That's where the question lies.
Yeah. I don't
add, like, the other benefit is you can get some stronger results.
Yes.
By doing some resin casting.
Yep.
Not all resin. Like if we've talked about it before, but if you've got a Reynolds Advanced Materials near you, it's worth going in there and kind of walking around and looking at the smooth on products to kind of, and it's cool. Like they'll have, 200, 300 different types of resin and mold materials, and they'll have these little wafers that you can pick up and touch and see if it's flexible, if it's hard, if it's strong. Find the the one that's going to fit the product that you're trying to make.
Mark, I remember that that podcast that you all made years ago now, and that was so eye-opening to listen to how all those different pieces were made. Yeah,
It's I love that place, man. They do a great job of
I need one.
making their stores interesting.
Yeah. Shane, there is one in Forest Park.
I thought that I remembered there was one in our area, Michael. All right.
Yep, there
Trip.
is, and I think they established themselves for the movie industry that was popping up.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, trust me, for you guys not familiar with, oh no, it's Riverdale. It's Riverdale. So for you guys not familiar with Atlanta, when you say Riverdale, you're like, there's nothing in Riverdale.
No.
That is, you don't want to go there.
Michael, let's take a field trip down there together and
yeah,
and go and
you
document.
know, we should. That'd be fun. That we can hang out there.
Yeah.
And I can say that about Riverdale because that's where I grew up. So,
94 Upper Riverdale Road, Southwest Riverdale.
Nice.
So Derek,
Yeah.
we all know about the mauler now. We know you're busy. Is there any breadcrumbs to what might be next on the horizon? Yeah, you don't have to totally spill the beans, but
I don't want to give them breadcrumbs, but I will just say that I'll tell you this: it's going to be a really busy year. I mean, it's going to be phenomenally busy. There's going to be stuff coming out that, if you thought the mauler was something else, just wait.
Wow.
I'll say that.
Drop right there.
yeah.
Do you have any original? Like, is there like a big, like an original design that you've?
There's
got in your mind?
originals. Yeah, there's originals coming out also.
With plural too. You heard
Yeah.
that, right?
Oh yeah. It's going to be a really busy year.
We'll be dissecting every bit of syntax, and we're like, we don't know what it's going to be, but
Yeah. But I think it is time to start making some of my own originals also. I think that's important because the mauler has started something. It kind of started with the armadillo in some ways, started adding features. You know, the armadillo was like a test to see what I could do, you know, with the original G.I. Joe toys, but still keep the DNA of them. And I also want to now branch out on my own simultaneously with some originals, and I'm going to show what I can do. I think that's important. And you know, the toys made back then, they were you know, a lot of them were pretty simple, and I'd like to add my own twist of stuff and features, and just, you know, really get into it. It's so big, I have a hard time even thinking about it, digesting it. Just to be honest. Big plans before Joe Fest. There's a lot of stuff's going to happen before Joe Fest too.
So that's a very good question. So you will be at Joe Fest.
What's that?
You will be at Joe Fest?
Yes, I will be there as a vendor.
As a vendor, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Jane, will you be at
So
Joe Fest?
we'll see you. We'll see you at the Mellow Mushroom a couple times.
My stunt double is going to be there.
Yep.
Excellent.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely like coordinate shirts or something so we can get some pics.
We will.
Yeah, that's exactly. I wish I had a T-shirt printer like a DTF or DTG. That'd be good. Would make something cool.
Well, Derek, this is you kind of mentioned that you were in the South Carolina area. That is my home state as well. So maybe we do have some lineage that are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm in the Charleston area. Yep. Yeah. Which is, like I said, it's exploding. You come to Charleston, you wouldn't recognize it.
Yeah, most people say Charleston, but they really mean Mount Pleasant, right?
Yeah, I'm in Somerville, and that.
Okay.
If you thought Mount Pleasant traffic was bad back in the day, it is absolutely pale in comparison to Somerville right now. Yeah,
I hear you.
It's crazy.
Do you ever
I've
get
been
any of
around.
your inspiration when you're going around the Patriots Point area and seeing all the old ships there?
No, no. I mean, I've been to Patriots Point, a long, long time ago.
They have the
Uh,
USS Yorktown there and a couple of
Yorktown.
submarines and
Yeah,
destroyers. It's one of those naval museums for anybody that hasn't been there. It's really cool.
it's really cool. It's a good preservation of history. But
Mhm.
I've not been down there since I was a young guy in the Navy.
Okay.
And so we went down there. I took a bunch of students down there, and so that's been, man, I have no idea how many years. Long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So we did have a question in the chat I wanted to just bring up. Is do you think Hasbro would ever bring back weapon packs like back in the days? They've mentioned it on one or two of their streams that they've done, and they haven't done it. I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen because of weapon stuff.
Yeah,
It's like the biggest complaint people have is how bad their weapons are.
Yep.
But it's not even
Yeah.
a sculpt. It's that because they're Hasbro, they have to do everything in a softer plastic, and they ended up getting.
well, yeah,
It's just wonky, and people don't like it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the realism of it is it's not because they're Hasbro, it's because they sell toys.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Valaverse, the guns are great, but they are not toys. They're not graded. They're sold as collectibles with an age rate of 14 or older. Toys
Yeah.
have to be safe for as low as 6, I think, and pass safety standards for children that young. So it's the balance there. But
Yeah. That's a good point.
at that point, I don't think anybody's buying G.I. Joe guns to update other figures, whereas a lot of people are buying other figures guns to update their G.I. Joes. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's really that big of a market for
the other part of that, the other side of that coin is there's tens of thousands of collectors that if they did a weapon set, they would still pre-order them, they would still buy them, buy multiples of them, and they just never open them.
That's true.
Like because if it's part of G.I. Joe Classified, it'll get bought.
Yeah, that's true.
It will move.
Yeah,
but is that enough of a reason? I don't know.
Yeah, and quite frankly, what was put is make it a 14 plus option. They could actually run them in a more durable plastic using the same tool. Create that as a weapons pack, sell it through Pulse, so you don't have mom and dad buying it for the kids off the rack, as if you could actually do that, because we know that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But they could sell it through Pulse and say, hey, what would be, I mean, to me, it would just be a miracle for Hasbro to actually just sell the figure stand. Those figure stands are great, but you can't get them outside of a retro figure, which is stupid.
All right. It's stupid.
I actually want to talk about that since you brought it up. The those black stands that come with the retro figures.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're talking about, right? Those stands. So if you've put a figure on one of those, it's tight. It's real tight.
Yes.
And it actually stretches out the hole on the bottom of the foot.
Really?
So I've made a couple of different stands, and I did like the snowshoes for the snow serpent.
Yeah.
And the ones I've made, if you put it onto that figure, no problem. It's tight, no big deal. If that figure has been on one of those stands already,
then the snowshoe won't.
Those stands, they're a nice glossy, smooth. They're attractive stands. I have no issues with them, but they are tight, and they make it so that figure won't work on other stands after.
Yep, you're right. And it's not just the stand, because I bought your Snow Serpent set, and I never put my Snow Serpent on the stand, but I did put on his snowshoes, the ones that came with the figure, and that stretched the same thing. And to be honest, I think that has a lot more to do with Hasbro not understanding the different, or they probably understand it, they probably just don't care, but the tolerances between the plastic stand and the rubberized feet. They didn't calculate, they created a peg on the stand to fit the hole in the rubber, not realizing that the rubber is going to have some expansion. and I think that's why you end up with the two different sizes.
Well, throughout history, G.I. Joe has always been, known for their consistency in whole sizes, right?
Oh.
But yeah, that was something that drove me nuts. So like I made a stand kind of for the first time on the bamboo, and I put it on a Footloose, perfect. And then I put a retro rock and roll on it, and it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. It's just the hole at the bottom of his foot is completely blown out.
That was pretty good, Mark.
Usually that analogy is for something else.
What are you talking about, Shane?
Stop it, guys.
What the kids are saying.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Oh, very nice.
All right.
We're about at the end. So I do want to shout out Operation Recall has started to deliver.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we got wave 1, which is
Nice.
the first 4 figures. They did not pay me to say this, but I like you guys. I just wanted to shout them out. I got mine. I know a lot of people has got theirs, and usually we do some sort of show and tell, and I haven't been making anything lately, so I'm going to show off some figures that came in.
Nice.
Okay.
If only we knew somebody that had worked on these.
Yeah, if only we knew
Behind the scenes.
a guy who was behind the scenes, maybe.
That card art looks really awesome. How's
So-
it feel in hand?
In hand, it's very, very solid, very glossy, and a nice thickness. It's not fun school thin.
Yeah.
They spent a little money on it, a little bit extra stock.
I made the big mistake and I did not order 2. I only ordered 1. So
Now,
what do
so-
I do? Do I open up or do I leave
Exactly.
it?
So I went all in, and I figured I'm good there. But now when you touch them, you're like, okay, there's some of these I'm gonna have to get 2 of them.
Yeah. The good thing is what he's been talking about is there is a wave 2 coming, and in a lot of cases it's the same figure but slightly different.
Yeah.
So you don't have to feel too bad about not being able to open the figures, because it gives you the reasoning to buy the wave 2 and kind of have one that's close enough to open. And I don't know. I ended up buying 2 of most of them.
Oh,
I kind of
wow.
I did all in, and then I said, all right, I'm setting a budget and I'm going to go in and buy X amount that I want to open. Some of them, it was like, I don't care to open this one, but if it had an animal with it, I bought a second one.
Okay. For me, it's more about the army builders, and I know that this was originally our guy Chris. This was his one. I love it. So I got to get probably about 5 of these, maybe.
Yeah.
But he did. I think Carson did say that there'll be a website up where you can go ahead and order some more.
Yeah, I did read that on the last update.
Yeah. So just wanted to talk
It'd be
about
silly not to do that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to get the original orders out and make sure that he's made everybody whole with the Kickstarter before making them available.
Yeah.
So that's all. I wanted to talk about it, and kind of like my newest thing that showed up, and it's awesome to start to see some of this stuff start to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mine are still under the tree. I haven't opened them yet, but I'll probably open them tomorrow. That'll be my early Christmas.
Come on, you waited this long. You can wait the official date.
right?
That's true. That's true.
So I'm not gonna open until I can order a couple more.
Okay. Good
So,
strategy.
so you've got a buffer, a safety net.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I meant to do this much earlier. congratulations to Michael Kleppinger,
Oh.
who's recently engaged.
Thank you.
Hey! Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Oh, the
Yeah.
excitement of two Derek's like completely
Oh yeah, yeah.
affected me from like I was supposed to do that early on.
Yep. Will your fiance be making an appearance at Joe Fest?
Probably not Joe Fest. She
Okay.
has been going to a lot of the local shows.
Yeah,
here.
the
Like she went
Atlanta
to Joe
ones,
Lanta,
yep,
and
that's
she
right.
went to.
Okay.
But the travel to Joe Fest, and unfortunately, the wedding might get in the way of Joe
Might
Fest
get
this
in the
year.
way. Oh no!
Gotta try
Oh.
to, some things are more important, but hopefully, I'll be able to do both.
Yeah.
So
It's
we're still
already
working out
happening.
the
It's
date.
already happening.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, dude.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's great.
Shane, do you have something you want to show off? I know you'd kind of sent me some pictures, and I was impressed.
Oh yeah, I've been so traditionally I got my start in 3D printing with restoring the original line of toys and parts, and I just kind of did it for myself, and I kind of fell into the whole posting them on Facebook and people asking for them, and now I have some websites and mainly sell on eBay, but I've really gotten into now designing play sets and things that kind of go together.
Nice.
And one of the first things that I started kind of thinking about was I love dreadnoughts. I love the swamp, the swamp skier. I love the helicopter thing. So I wanted to design a dock system, and so I kind of put some stuff together. This is like for the swamp dock or whatever. But these are linkable. They're interchangeable. They have a lot of detail compared to like a G.I. Joe toy, in my opinion. So it's a little bit more than that. But this is for the
That's
3 3/4 cell. They fit together through little mechanisms here that you can kind of snap them and lock them together.
Okay.
I made one for the classified scale as well, so much bigger. But I just kind of like the way that you could kind of fit this in. And I'm also a big fan of Sergeant Rock too. Back in the day, I got those bootleg Sergeant Rock ones, and one of the things that they had there was called the machine gunner's nest, and it was like this the vacuum form kind of like the really cheap plastic thing. So I've recently kind of designed kind of a solid one for that with the gunner's nest up there.
Really cool.
This is going to be removable, and you can put bigger stuff in there or whatever. But with the this is kind of removable and kind of fits on there, but lots more solid than the original Sergeant Rock. And I do have a Sergeant Rock figure around here too. But those are kind of some little things that I've kind of been working on.
Very cool.
I like the diorama stuff. It's good.
Nothing like a Mauler.
Yeah, the world building stuff.
Hey, that's all right.
The world building stuff's been a little neglected.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Like I did like my show off thing. I did the machine gun defense recently. So it's like the sign. I gotta get some paint on this. I did the Mike and I were talking about this before the show. Technically this is a cantrip. My wife had to freaking explain that to me. I didn't believe her, and she got the Google out. I thought, Mike, you thought these were called what?
Chetch hedgehogs. That's one of the names for them.
Hedgehogs.
Yep.
And I always thought they were called tank traps or something like that. But apparently,
tank trap is like the generic name for them, like dragon's teeth.
Yeah, dragon's teeth.
Yeah.
That's
My
what
wife saw. I pulled this off the printer and I put it together. And my wife walked in. She's like, "Oh, you're making cantrips." I'm like, "No. Cantrips are the things ninjas like throw on the ground.
Those are caltrops.
Like anti-personnel. They're little caltrops, but however you pronounce it, dude. And she's like, "I think you're wrong." I'm like, "Come on." And but no, she got out the Google and proved me wrong. So
wow,
nice. She's keeping you honest.
I thought this was the coolest thing when I was a kid. This gun. It's like one of the few things that like I still have the one from when I was a kid.
I thought that gun was amazing. How the bullet belt was on both sides of it. That's the way I had
Don't
mine
destroy
set up
my
until I realized
my
what that
suspension
was.
of disbelief. And this is like
Nice.
Mark, is that resin?
For the stand?
the gun, ammo can, bullet. This is resin,
That's resin. Okay.
and the rest I did just on the bamboo,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
which is
Good
nice.
stuff.
That's a nice
Like this
green
is
resin
flat.
if
It's
you
gonna
had
stay
that.
flat.
Yeah. How's
Yeah.
how's the strength of the peg? Because I see that you've printed it vertically.
Right. So therein is why, like, my solution to the blown out hole at the bottom of the foot isn't just make the peg bigger. Because if this ends up being too tight, it will. I imagine it will just break off in the foot when you try and take it off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So like make the peg bigger so that it's tighter. I'm not in love with that idea. I'd rather just. It's got to be kind of one or the other. Like if I. Oh, now it's being weird. If I put it on, like the footloose that didn't stand on a stand, like it's fine. Now it's not. Because I fucked it up. It was fine. But then again, like if it's on a figure where that hole has been on another stand already, it's too much. So I'm not sure what the solution is. Make it a tenth of a mil bigger, maybe. But the last thing I want is to break it off in the foot.
Yeah. No good answer.
Yeah, I mean, make a rubber mold and cast it out of a 2-part resin. Like that might be the answer.
An idea that I was thinking about at Hobby Lobby, they sell the what is it made? The styrene, the polystyrene tube, the dowels and the flat sheets. What I was playing around with the idea, because whenever I printed stands, they would easily break off because of the way that I printed them, right? So if I just left a hole and then cut the polystyrene dowel and then, kind of glued that down in there.
Yeah, that's going to give you your best shear force.
Yeah. And then that wasn't going to
as long as you've got if you've got a dowel that's like the absolute perfect width, then that's a really good solution.
And they sell them in pretty much every diameter. You're talking about that rack that they usually keep near the modeling section.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep.
And I haven't gone back to make it yet. But when I make my stands, that's what I'm going to make them. That's how I'm going to make them. Yeah.
That's a good call.
Very cool.
Yep.
So on my end, I have been the project that I've been working on. I think I showed it off to everybody last time, but Derek hasn't seen it in its full glory. So that is my version of the flag. It's a little bit smaller than yours.
Yeah.
The size of a potato chip.
Yes.
This is where what I mentioned. You sent me the files. This is what was invaluable because I was having the hardest time in my mind putting everything together. So Derek, when you sent me your model, I imported it into Fusion and then I built mine around it because to get the scale that I needed.
That's good. I'm glad it helps you. I really am. Yeah.
What's that?
I said I'm glad it helps you. I really am. That's good.
Yeah, it was great. But so this is still in progress. I'm still trying to figure out how to minimize the amount of parts that it takes because it's a pain in the butt to kind of put together. But
tiny.
It's getting there.
Looks good though. Looks great.
It's tiny. Yeah, it's to fit in this case.
No, that'll be
a Matchbox case.
Wow.
And you don't need a semi truck worth of filament to print.
No. Depends on how many I make.
Well,
but no, I don't need the. I don't need a pallet yet.
Well, I gotta make sure I get one of those. That's going in the cases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will spread the
word. If it's strong enough, could I get one and use it as like a keychain?
Ooh.
Christmas ornament.
Christmas ornament, definitely.
Definitely Christmas ornament.
Well, hey, that's an interesting question. Like Star Wars Micro Galaxy. Yeah. I mean,
yes, that has absolutely been considered, and that's all I'm saying about that.
Yep. Now I do. My focus is I do miniatures that are much smaller than Micro Galaxy, but that's mine are more like micro machines. But yeah, everything's scalable once you get to that point.
But Michael, I think I see the whole Christmas line for you for Christmas tree ornaments in the near future. I think you should do that.
Yeah. That's actually not a terrible idea.
I think he has a great idea. Yeah.
Because I've got some other things that are in works. So we'll take a look, and it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I've already seen the backpack Christmas hangers that came out the other day, right?
That was actually very cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think you should do it. I think you'd sell quite a few.
I think I would. The problem is time and effort and all that kind of other fun stuff. But
we'll go Derek and get a clone. So there you go.
Yeah, we got a hookup. We know.
How do you think he's getting it all done?
So which one of you guys 3D printed the other?
We'll never tell.
That's right.
Never tell. But what was the backpack hanger thing? What was that?
That came out. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Dan Killingsworth basically said, "Hey, I've got this idea, and it's a backpack that fits G.I. Joe figures, or could fit any, made to fit any figure. That instead of modifying your original figure to turn it into a Christmas ornament, is a backpack that you plug into the hole, and then it's got the hole and everything.
It looks like a backpack, and it has the little loop at the top.
It has the hook built in.
Yep."
That's really cool.
And then he was posting the question of, hey, how much effort, how much interest in this is there? Would people like to see them 3D printed or molded? So
it's a cool idea.
It's a very interesting concept.
Yep.
I like that idea. Yeah,
so
it's cool.
He had asked about a snow globe. So my wife has like a lathe, and she turns, she'll make pens and bowls and cups and stuff. And we were toying around with basically like making little miniature dioramas, encasing it in like a clear resin, and then turning it and making a globe. So it'd be like a
wow.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and it's just a shitload of work. It's kind of what it boils down to. It's a lot of work, just getting the resin with you gotta let it cure under pressure and heat and all kinds of stuff, so there's no bubbles, so it's glass clear, and then the fumes are really bad, so there's a lot to it. But maybe one day.
I kind of do, Michael, going back to your to the flag miniature. I would like to see a flag in a bottle.
Oh,
that's
another great idea.
Yeah,
that would be very cool.
Keep having me on. I'll keep giving these ideas to you guys. Come on.
You guys are so good.
So do you need him to build it inside the bottle, or can he kind of, how they'll split the bottle?
That's the trick.
Back
That's the
together
magic trick.
and
I don't know.
Wind it with rope.
Yeah.
Maybe do it in pieces, or I don't know.
3D print a stand for it. People buy those. I mean, I think that's great.
Flag in a bottle.
Oh yeah. I've got some ideas, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh man.
All right. We do need to wrap it up. I do need real quick. I did an announcement about this on the Facebook page the other day. So Chris Scott of Grindhouse Toys and myself and a handful of other folks are doing the custom class at Joe Fest this year, which is it's like all of Friday morning. It's from, is it like 8 to noon or something? I'm not sure what the times are. But we're kind of finalizing everything now. If you're interested, and I'm not going to get into what we're doing just yet, but if you're interested, get your hands on an extra Footloose figure.
Oh,
that'll be the base for the custom classes here.
Good call.
So,
awesome.
Yep. But yeah, more on that very soon.
All right.
It's gonna be cool. All right. So hey everybody that came out, thank you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas if that's what you're into. Happy Hanukkah
and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Derek, thanks again. Shane, thank you for coming out and
Thanks for having me.
Extra special.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys are great. Enjoy spending time with you.
No show next week, but I think we'll be back the week after that, I believe.
All right.
So go check out rowdytoys.com, which is a fantastic website, and check out all of Derek's awesome creations. So thanks again, and we'll catch you guys next time. Go ahead.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it.